Hey everybody, welcome again to another episode of Just for Fun Games. I'm your host, Azzy. With me always is my friend Roy, and we're talking What If, episode 8, I believe it is?
Yeah, you actually got it right.
What if... what if Ultron won? Now, if you haven't seen the episode yet, we are the type of people who can't exactly talk about it unless we're going to be giving out spoilers, so please, by all means, exit the video, go watch the episode, and then come on back and see what the hell we got to say about it. So effectively, where this episode deviates from like the norm from Avengers: Age of Ultron was the point when the team stole Vision's body, or the body that would eventually be Vision. The concept is, what if Ultron actually fully uploaded into that body, and what would happen from there? And what it was is that he'd murder everyone. And I feel like there are elements of this episode that once again you have to kind of suspend your expectations in order to enjoy it, because things happen in this episode for the sake of the plot that just didn't really feel like it jived with the sensibilities or the things I was expecting based on what we've seen from the MCU. Like, for instance, while the body that Vision had was like a combination of flesh and vibranium, that doesn't. We've been shown that nothing is potentially completely indestructible. It doesn't mean that Ultron would have been this invincible guy who could have defeated all the Avengers combined. But in this instance, he does. Just have to accept that. He does, and he takes control of all of the world's nuclear weapons and turns them on the planet, kills everyone, and then realizes, oh, well, I get to spread my peace and love to everywhere in the universe. And then proceeds to just blow up. Forgetting one big detail. After he's already destroyed the entire planet, Thanos shows up to get the one Infinity Stone in his head, and gets the jump on Thanos and murders him instantly.
Yeah, that was what took me out. The one part that took me out. And it's just
yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying, because it was that little bit of convenience and contrivance just to set up the stakes and the tenets of this episode, because we knew ahead of time, based on the promo pictures and based on the last few moments in the previous episode, that this is a Ultron that not only has the Vision body, but also has all of the Infinity Stones. But it's just like doing away with Thanos instantaneously. It just felt so weird.
cut him in half.
Sorry. Bisected him, yeah.
You good over there, man? I gotta finish the rest off, and Ultron.
No.
I say you over there struggling over there.
No. He proceeds, once he has all 6 Infinity Stones, he then proceeds to go throughout the universe, destroying everything, blowing up Asgard, Sakaar, basically hitting all the spots that you expect. But I guess there was a convenient way to solve the issue of how would a machine give up the thing that it loves in order to get the Soul Stone. But then, after destroying everything in the entire universe and effectively being alone in that universe, Ultron loses a bit of his sense of self, because he now lacks purpose. That's when he had effectively elevated or evolved into a being that was capable of hearing the Watcher basically narrating everything over his shoulder. And somehow, because shit just happens, he's able to penetrate the boundaries of his reality to interact with the Watcher between universes. And this is the moment that we effectively been waiting for, where the Watcher is pushed to the point where he actually has to interfere with shit. That was a brief summary. There's lots of little bits in between that we could talk about. But what did you think about the episode?
I fucking loved it. I watched it like 4 times after I finished watching it the first time. I was like, we got to do this review today because I'm not holding back. I really want to do the review. I like, just like episode 2, I like that you walked into the unknown. You didn't know what you were going to expect after, like you said, when the Avengers picked up Vision, he became the hero. After, Ultron uploaded, you didn't know what the hell was going to happen, going to, like, after he pretty much destroyed most of Earth, he's like, well, I'm gonna go up there and start fucking shit up there, and then go figure, meets Captain Marvel, and I'm like, yeah, he's gonna get fucked up. He's about to get his head ripped off, and he's like, it's like, you got spirit. I was like, she about to get blown away. So yeah, she got blown up with inside of a planet, and like the whole scenes with
but in the same in the like,
goddamn choppy as shit. Yeah, well, the fight with him and the Watcher. That the only corny part I didn't like is when the Watcher got like his little armor set kind of deal. I was like, I wasn't feeling that, but it was good.
The thing is, as the comic book guy, Watcher the Watcher is actually incredibly powerful. So I needed him to not be some kind of chump. But the other thing that got me, like, and I understand this is set in the multiverse of the MCU. Things work differently. Basically, how it works in the comics is that the Infinity Stones only work in the universe that they originate from. So if you were to take, say, like the 616 is the main universe in the comics. If you took the Infinity Stones from that universe and then brought it to the Ultimate universe where like Miles originally came from, they wouldn't work. They'd be useless. Very similar to how they handled the Infinity Stones that were just like paperweights in a drawer. So that led me to believe that was the angle that they were going with, that these stones would only function in their home universe. And the moment he Thanos burst through like the dimensional barrier into the gap between universes, and he's still wielding all that power, I'm like, oh, okay. Either that's not a thing, or that's just another thing that's just another contrivance that they're allowing in order to maintain him as a threat. Not that he specifically used the Infinity Stones, but all that power. It's like, if you're going to contend with Uatu the Watcher, then he's going to need that kind of power from the Infinity Stones. Not to mention, he still did use them, I think, in the course of that fight. Didn't he?
I didn't hear the typical. I didn't hear any of that. So,
well, he didn't have. Well, they were in his chest. Mostly, what he did was that he used I know he used the Reality Stone. He used the Space Stone, and he used the Mind Stone just for the sake of Energy Blast, because the Mind Stone doesn't do anything interesting. But yeah, no, but still, it's just like this is a guy. He's fully made of vibranium. He has advanced technology. He can pump out a whole lot of energy and whatnot. But to go up against Watch the Watcher, you need something more than that. Because think about it, by a pure vibranium that made up Cap's shield was shattered by Thanos' sword. I think Uatu the Watcher can pump out that same kind of energy, but nonetheless, like, trying to set that shit aside, I still enjoyed it. I thought it was really cool to finally see Uatu actually contend to do something to make sure that he wasn't like, it was making sure that he wasn't a chump was the most important thing.
He was about to get his head crushed.
yeah, that was I thought that was an interesting flip, because that was how Vision died, and now Ultron with Vision's body is doing the same thing to somebody else.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised that you liked it so much with how they basically undid Captain Marvel like that.
I mean, I was fine with it. I was like, I was like, well, this is the big bad threat here. There could be another Captain Marvel in another multiverse that they can bring, like from the Thor, like the previous episode storyline. They can bring her back from that.
The other thing that got me, like, I felt like there was the third thing that that kind of like triggered me and had to be set aside to enjoy the episode, was how the Infinity Stones were used without cost. This is when he was still in the MCU universe, or like the home universe of the MCU, when he destroyed not only Captain Marvel but also like 6 surrounding planets. The amount of energy, they kind of made it sound like he actually destroyed basically an entire universe, the entire universe in that moment. When Thanos did the snap and just removed half of all life in the universe, it caused a backlash of residual energy to the Gauntlet and to Thanos himself. Like when he tried to use it, when he tried to use the stones to destroy the stone, when he used the stones to destroy the stones, it almost killed him, and you saw how shriveled and damaged and unusable his one arm was. Apparently, if you're a robot, there's no like oversurge of energy. It's like that also had to be set aside. It's like I'm not trying to nitpick. I'm like the MCU has geared us to nitpick. So when you see these tiny details that don't exactly add up with the things that we've seen prior, then they stand out like a sore thumb. Like everything about the MCU is all about picking out the tiny details. Can you really blame me?
All I can say is I really like this episode. I really like this. Probably my number 2.
That didn't stop me from liking the episode. I just like those were hurdles I had to get over and set aside in order to enjoy it.
This is the second time you nitpicking the goddamn one part of an episode. Be like, yeah, well, they don't do this. They don't
3
do
parts.
That.
3 parts.
They didn't do this.
3 parts bothered me.
But at the end of the day, watchers like, yo, man, I can't do this by myself. You know, hey, Doctor Strange from episode 4, what's up, man? Need your help? Yeah.
No, I actually really like that kind of callback. Like the notion that he is the only place he could retreat to was a universe that's collapsed to effectively hide there. Yeah, no, I was cool with that. Like I still enjoyed the episode. I feel like you're insinuating that I'm just trashing on it or something. It's like I'm not. It was fun. It was definitely fun. It's just like it required a lot of contrivances in order to prop this guy up as the big bad.
I mean, granted,
like let's just ignore those 3 things.
My only concern is, you know, because with the teaser poster showing all the characters, we still hadn't got Gamora. So unless she's showing up just at the end of it for whatever reason, I'm still down with it. I do expect to see that Marvel's Avengers shot where they do the pan around with all the characters, because there's the one with I think, what is it, Captain Carter and
it's
Captain Carter, T'Challa as Star-Lord, Thor, and
T'Challa Star-Lord.
And I think that was it from the pan that they gave us. But then again, you know, this is Marvel. They can change that shit and it could be somebody else.
Well, we never saw Gamora from Black Panther's episode, the one T'Challa Star-Lord. We never saw that new version of Gamora, which is odd because both Thanos and Nebula were in it, so you would imagine that Gamora would also be around. Seeing how this is a Gamora that is wearing her father, wearing armor in the style of Thanos' armor, my thought process is that in that universe, she becomes a villain. Like she becomes essentially like the zealot's apprentice that doesn't give up the practice when the leader decides to set it aside. Like T'Challa convinced Thanos to quit, and Gamora's like, no, we can't quit.
Well, yeah, I can't wait for the next episode, because I feel like this is the one where they're going to assemble all these goddamn characters that we've been seeing from each episode.
I don't know how this is going to resolve itself, to be honest.
It's got to. They're going to have to, because I want to say they did say this was canon to the MCU. So
they did. No, they did. This all exists in completely separate universes to what we know of as the MCU.
Yeah, so
it's all canon.
I just don't want to see Ultron just pop up in the next Spider-Man movie or something, you know? No,
he's going to be dealt with. The only thing I can think of is that they're going to utilize Zola to try and nerf him in that way. But the the severity of this is that we've never had like even throughout Thanos' run in the MCU, we've never had the Avengers have to take him on while he is literally wielding all 6 Infinity Stones.
Well,
That Thanos has.
yeah, well, Thanos had an agenda. It's like Ultron could have just did the same damn thing. He just said, "Fuck it, I'm just use all my mileage to go to all these other planets," and instead of just snapping his finger, it'd be like erase all life.
Oh yeah, because well, no, it's actually funny. It reminds me of the Justice League. In Justice League Unlimited, there's a storyline where you have a Brainiac, which is essentially the DC's version of Ultron, and you have Lex Luthor, who's what's an Marvel analog for Lex Luthor? I mean, everybody knows who Lex Luthor is. He's Superman's like regular human bad guy. Brainiac has been gestating, like as like nanomachines, has been gestating and hiding inside Lex Luthor in order to come back so he can do his thing about cataloging the entire universe and destroying it after he's documented it. But he constantly loses, and while he's controlling Lex Luthor's body in order to like accomplish like rebuilding his like perfect self, Lex Luthor convinces him that the reason why he keeps losing is because he lacks something. And when Brainiac goes, well, "What do you think I lack? I'm smarter than you." It's like, "You lack imagination." So they actually combine together in order to become this like a mega supervillain. They're still defeated, but in that same vein, Ultron lacks the imagination. Just snap his fingers and destroy the entire universe with the Infinity Stones. It basically just seems like right now he's other than the Reality Stone, he's just using them like batteries.
Well,
not to mention, hold up. Something we're forgetting about. There's only one episode left, and based on at least in that universe, Ultron kills Ego. But there is another universe in the Marvel What If where Ego gets his son, gets his battery, and is perfectly in line to initiate his plan to make the entire universe me. It's like,
I don't know, man.
Is that gonna come up? Is that gonna come up?
All right. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna throw this bullshit ass prediction. I don't remember the song name from the movie. The Watcher and Doctor Strange are gonna have Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure vibes. They're gonna go to all these other fucking universes to pick up.
It's gonna be a road trip.
They're gonna pick up all these other characters for this one fight. Oh man. But yeah, this last episode gotta be a banger. Because like I said, I really enjoyed this episode. Like, after I finished it, I watched it like 3 other times. It's like, oh my god, this fucking shit is gonna be awesome.
I was fooled into believing that this episode might have like a mid-credit scene or an after-credit scene, so I watched it all the way to the end. I was like, oh.
I'm like, come on, man, you couldn't tease me of something else coming. But yeah, give him a shout out for Hawkeye, man. I kind of did tear up when he was like, "I'm tired of fighting," and it just reminded me of fucking Black Widow's death, and I was like, yeah, fucking hell. At least he went out like a G.
It was, yeah. Yeah, that was rough. Hawkeye with like the robot arm so that you can fire faster. That was cool. And obviously it's a direct reference to Endgame, except flipping the sacrifice. That was really cool. But anyway, I'd give this episode an 8.5. I still felt like they had to make several like conveniences and contrivances in order to make the story happen. I'm not.
Shut up. Stop crying.
I ain't crying.
That's like, oh man, they fucked up. They didn't put grape jelly on that peanut butter jelly sandwich. They put strawberry jelly.
Well, had they established that strawberry jelly is the only thing in the fridge like 4 movies ago, and now we come back to the fridge and suddenly that grape jelly has become strawberry, then yeah. By the way, there's a fucking coffee cup on the table like in this medieval movie, Game of Thrones. but no,
it was the multiverse.
Yeah, no, I prefer less contrivances in their story. I feel it's a crutch. that I wish they wouldn't have had to utilize. Stop being salty because I didn't love it as much as you.
Oh, I give it a 9, buddy. Give it a 9. I mean, it's almost there beating my what if T'Challa was Star-Lord episode. But like we'll save that for the next episode where our personal ranking for each episode.
Yeah. Next week I'm gonna make sure to, after finishing watching like the last episode a couple times, I'm gonna want to rewatch all the episodes, and then we'll go ahead and do our rankings like that.
Yep.
I look forward to it. I just wanted to end strong, so hopefully that happens next week.
Yeah.
All right. So, what did you guys think about the episode? Go ahead, drop your comments down below. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you know when we're popping up some new videos. And we will see you guys next time. Peace.
Deuces.
Who said that? I see you.